Here are the cuffs that have already been interfaced, and I'm folding up the seam allowance 1.5 centimeters and press. Checking the measurement to make sure it's correct. Do the same on the other cuff. Fold up 1.5 centimeter seam allowance and press. You're pressing it towards the wrong side. Check the measurement. The next step is to fold it in half at the notch. Fold the cuff in half at the notch. At this point, you should not press. Pin it in place and do the same for the other cuff. You are folding it right sides together. Okay, both folded right sides together, and you sew the edges together at 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. Back stitch and sew, and then back stitch. After that, you turn it to the right side. I'm using the awl here, but I'm using the scissors to poke the corners. You have to be careful not to cut anything. Then press it down. Press the seam down, and also the top of the cuff. Now you're going to set your stitch to the longest stitch and then sew 2 rows of gathering stitch on the sleeve. from notch to notch, from the front notch to the back notch. This is the second row of gathering stitch. Now I'm sewing the sleeve seam. I'm sewing a French seam so it's wrong sides together at 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. Again on the other sleeve at 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. I'm sewing the sleeve seam. Now press the seam. Then press the seam to one side. Then turn it wrong side up, and then press the seam down to make it easy to finish the French seam. Now I'm sewing the seam again at 1 centimeter seam allowance to enclose the raw edge and complete this French seam. Press the French seam. Now I'm sewing a gathering stitch at the hem of the sleeve. You shouldn't backstitch, you should just again I'm sewing a gathering stitch at the hem of the sleeve. This is the second row of gathering stitch. The gathering stitch I sewed is 0.5 centimeters from the edge for the first gathering stitch, and the second gathering stitch is 2 centimeters from the edge. Because the seam allowance is 1.5 centimeters, the actual seam should come between these gathering stitch, between the 2 gathering stitches. Now I'm gathering the hem of the sleeve and then measuring the size of the cuff. Now I'm going to pin the cuff to the sleeve. I'm pinning the unfolded raw edge of the cuff seam allowance to the sleeve wrong side. I'm adjusting the gathering to fit properly into the cuff. And then I'm adding pins to keep it in place for sewing. Here I am sewing the cuff to the sleeve. In this case, I put the gathering up. In most cases, it's more advisable for the gathering to be down. But in this case, I kept the gathering up, facing up. I enclose the raw edges into the cuff. And using an edge stitching foot, although you don't need to use that, but it's helpful to edge stitch on the right side of the sleeve. This allows you to control how the seam will look so that it is as neat as possible. The second gathering stitch will be exposed and will be removed after stitching the cuff down. Make sure you keep checking so that you do not catch anything below. Here I am doing the other sleeve. Now you remove the pasting stitch that is exposed. Then you sew the buttonhole to the cuff. For this pattern, there are 2 buttonholes sewn, and there is a template in the pattern that can be used to guide you in choosing the distance between the buttons, but you can adjust it to your own liking.